guys? Today we are talking and looking about the Peak Designs travel bag. Are you ready for this? This thing, oh my God, there's a lot to get into. So this thing has just been launched on Kickstarter. I finally got my version of it. I'm so excited to get into it. There's a lot to show you and a lot to talk about because it's it's a challenging bag in just a couple ways, and it is an incredibly inspiring bag in a few others. Now, I'm gonna walk you through every nook and cranny on this thing, try to get you through all the features, because there's a ton, and tell you what my experience has been like in using this bag just shortly, because I haven't gone on actual trips with it. It just came a few days ago. But here's the deal. Before I can get into all the pockets and things like that, let me tell you 4 or 5 important things that you need to know about this bag. Okay, so my first point is that it's just really well built. All the basics are solid. You expect that from Peak Designs, but all of the features, okay? Lash straps, stowable hip straps that stow back here in this hidden little space. The sternum strap that's kind of unique and interesting. Hidden pockets, the packing cubes that are built. The packing cubes are the expansion, the side access, all of these things I'm gonna walk you into, the way that it collapses into a daily carry size bag, or tries to. Here's the deal. All of these little features, there's so many of them. It's like a Tesla. There's so many features on this thing, but they're all really thoughtfully designed and executed. This is one of my favorite things about Peak, all right? They have a slew of designers. I don't know how many people they have over there, but people who are thinking very, very seriously about how these things work. So for instance, on some bags, when you zip up around a corner or something like that, like the Nomadic Travel or some of the Wandered bags, you get this little you have to jitter yourself around it. All of the zippers move freely and flow easily. That just one example of the ways that when you're in travel with this bag, it's all been considered so much that it ends up traveling really smoothly, even though there's a bunch of features here. Have you seen this happen on Kickstarter where there's a bag that gets launched or a product gets launched with 1 million features, and then you get it and it's all oh, there's so many features that actually kind of sucks to use. I'm excited to say you will not have that experience with this Peak travel bag. Not that any of us really thought we would with a company like Peak. I think they're just really inspired, hitting this balance between design, functionality, sort of tech orientation, as well as comfort and just basic bag stuff. So my first point here is just really well designed and thought through and excellent build quality. Did I mention the excellent build quality from the rivets here or the pivots here on these things to all the stress points being less stressy, to the fabric that they used and the materials for the handles and all of this sort of stuff. The way they have external lash straps, which they didn't send me, but I watched a bunch of videos. I watched all their videos on this stuff, and I'm oh, that looks like it works good. So with Peak Designs, not only does it work well, but it's built well for durability. I didn't have any doubts about that, and they really came through. Okay, my second point here is that it's just got massive capacity, okay, for your travel. This is basically the most you can fit in a carry-on bag. However, because the bag is padded, all right, your stuff is really secure in there. It's padded. It's got a rigid thing. I'm gonna more on that in a second. It has maybe slightly less, I'd say definitely less space in it than something like the Tortuga Setout or the Heimplanet Monolith 40 liter. So if it's all about space for you, those bags might be better, though I would say, no, dude, you can fit it in this. This is massive. Not only does it have a huge capacity inside the bag, but then it has expansion ability. Where's one of those little guys? It expands to give you an extra 10 liters. Okay, now point number 3, the accessories for this bag, like this tech pouch, are fucking incredible. Pardon my French. Earmuffs. This thing actually is hecka dope. I'm saying that to give some respect to the Peak California people. This thing's hecka dope. They've got a tech pouch like this. They've got a DOPP kit or wash kit, which is also really well designed, a little more simple than this. The DOPP kit is fat. These are fat. I like things that are thinner because I like being able to throw them in my bag anywhere. but this is so good and has everything I need in it that like, it's like, okay, well, I'm just traveling with this from now on. The DOPP kit also is a little like, it's a little wide. I still travel with my minimal one, which I'll show you in a second, but that's great. But then the packing cubes, for sure. Don't even bother with other packing cubes. I mean, they're gonna be, this thing's like 60 bucks. You're gonna pay for it. But the packing cubes that you can get for this bag are killer. I'll show you them in a second. Okay, so the point being that the accessories that come with the bag, by the way, you see how easily that went in? You guys, you're gonna love this, are extremely well made and it like just delightfully well designed. Okay, my final point here, and now we're starting to get into the criticism. Basically the one criticism I have of this bag, all right, guys? It is rigid and hefty, okay? Because of the way that they're using this thick material with a little bit of padding built in or some kind that like to protect your stuff, we've got a pretty heavy bag here. Okay, so it's a little bit heavier than other bags out there. It's a little bit more rigid, though it's nowhere near as rigid as something like the Nomadic travel bag or the Wandered travel bags, which are made from that Hypalon, that I don't know, I can't remember the material exactly, but it's like this very rigid, rubberized kind of like, but it doesn't have that soft tactileness at all to those things. This thing does have a nice, soft tactileness. So you get all the water resistance, all the incredible durability and protection for your stuff. And it has that rigidity, a little bit of softness, much more so than the Nomadic and the Wandered, like I said, but it's nicely sized. Do you understand? So it's rigid in the way that a rigid bag would suck to get up in that overhead compartment if it wasn't the right size. And this, on the other hand, this is gonna slide into even those puddle jumpers in the overhead. Now, I find myself sort of struggling with this bag because, like just existentially speaking, which is just something that I do with things. I just struggle existentially with anything. Because it's definitely asking me, hey, do you wanna trust me with all of your travels? Because, and I believe it when it says this, I'm not gonna break. You can fit basically everything you need. I'm very smooth and sleek to travel with. And while in transit, I've got the pockets that you need, and I've got the space and the capabilities and features that are gonna make like whatever you get into on the road. You know how on the road you kind of get into whatever you get into? Yeah, I've got the ability to get into that with you. And so it's this thing where you're hearing it say this and you're kind of like, yeah, like I know, I've seen hundreds of bags at this point. I know that it's not gonna let me down on that. The zippers aren't gonna break, the straps are gonna be comfortable enough with the stowable hip straps. That's killer, by the way. That is like a phenomenal feature that you can literally just cinch it down and go, and you've got that weight pulled off of your back. Also, because of its size, it carries really well. So even when it's loaded up with shit, it still carries really well, even for those of us with a smaller frame. I mean, obviously, whatever you put in here, you're carrying. But you ladies and you smaller dudes, small, you know what I mean by small, not small of heart. Not where it matters most. But you smaller framed folks out there, this is still gonna carry comfortably because what other options do you have? And because it has this rigidness that holds the bag up, you put the straps in and lock them on your hip, and now it's standing sort of straight up, and you just got the shoulder straps that are kind of guiding it on your back. So anyways, it's this like existential dilemma for me because it's so techy, it's so Elon Musk, it's such a particular look, and it's, by the way, compared to their everyday bags, guys, Peak Designs, I really like the look of this. This is, I think, exactly what this bag needed to be. I am amazed at all the features and all that stuff, but the way that you nailed the look and stuff is exciting. I'm gonna see so many fucking people with this bag. So many travelers, because I'm always like, I'm a nomadic kind of person. My family, we're traveling full time here in a little bit, and I'm always seeing people with bags out there who are like nomads, right? Well, I'm gonna see a lot of these in the future, and for good reason. So this is why my existential crisis is like, am I gonna commit totally to this bag? Because I have to be honest that I'm really drawn towards bag with a more natural, organic aesthetic, more of a bag kind of bag. So at the end of this video, I'll show you a few other bags that you might want to look at. But first, let us get into every nook and cranny. Come with me on a journey of cranny creeping. Okay, so one of the first things I think is important on a travel bag is, and maybe you don't know this, is your handle. When you're constantly ripping this bag, getting it up into the overhead, taking it, throwing it into the back of the taxi, something like that, right? You're constantly needing to just grab that handle. And this handle's awesome. This handle needs no improvement. It's killer. It's got this like, it's hard to explain, but there's like a little bit of a concave on one side of it. So it's almost like a padding. It's like padding, right? Has been slightly, just slightly like pulled together and then surrounded by this webbing. And it just feels nice. Like your thumb goes right into that little concave section. It's a great handle. And one of the best parts about it is it's always there. You know, some of these handles on bags, they're well designed, but like for example, the Boundary Supply Prima, it's well designed and it's always there, but there's not very much. Can you see how there's just not very much room right there? So you're kind of coming in and you just get you have to slide your fingers in. They needed just like a half an inch more. This thing is always there for you. Always right there when you grab it. Am I going too deep on a handle? Listen, when your life depends on your bag, which this bag is worthy of like your life depending on it, this is exactly the kind of thing that you don't want to have to be thinking about. And with this handle, you don't have to think about it. Okay, there's also handles there's a minimal handle on the bottom of the bag. So you can kind of do that, you know, ruck and grip around. There's also handles on both sides above the water bottle pocket. Now, I thought that would leave the bag unbalanced, but it does a damn good job. So, a lot to talk about back here. I will try not to bore you and go too deep. First of all, you can stow this whole thing. These whole straps are stowable. Look at this interesting, it's like magnetic. Magnets. How do they work? Okay, strap comes out. We open up our magnet bit and we just slide it in there. Let's just slide it in. Oh, we turn it around first. Just slide it in. Hide things away. Okay, so you can totally hide your straps away and get them in there. And then you've got this thing carrying like a duffel because this handle does two things. Carries like a duffel like this, which sucks because you're outside of your body like that. It's not so bad, but I mean, I would definitely go with the side pocket instead. But the main thing you'd use this for is if you are seriously living on the road and you've got a roller case and this bag, you can put this over your roller luggage if your roller luggage has not too wide of a handle, because it isn't like extremely wide. We're not done with this back panel, okay? We're gonna open this up, we're gonna pull our strap back out. Then, like I've shown you, these hip straps just stow away. This is killer, because putting these on sometimes makes all the difference in the world. But a lot of the times, I don't wanna travel with them, and now I'm done. Did you see? For a second, just real quick, oh, I don't need those anymore. Done. Okay, that is lovely. Another thing that's interesting here, while I'm on the back panel, pull these guys out, and then this thing can actually slide underneath. What this does is it makes your back go up against this padding. You have more space on the side. You have less of the bag touching you, so less sweat and stuff like that. This back material, some of you are gonna not be satisfied with the sweatness of it. I haven't found. I walked around with it for a while. Haven't found it to be sweaty. I'm not a super sweaty dude though, so I'm on it. But honestly, like that, I don't personally pick a bag for its sweat factor. I know some of you, that's like a really big deal too. So they have this feature where you there is perforation on this. You get a little, but it's not mesh, right? So flipping those in, less of the bag is touching your back and it doesn't feel uncomfortable at all. It actually feels a little more comfortable. Okay, so let's show the bag on. First of all, they've got this great little sternum strap right here, okay? Which can actually be removed completely. It actually just comes off if you want it to, clips in, does not come off in my experience if I don't want it to. It's the same thing as the everyday backpack of theirs. And the sternum strap feels great, feels super locked in with these straps. Okay, so here's the bag on me. I am 5'10", 190 pounds-ish, okay? So I like to have my hip strap nice and tight, right? So you're gonna see a little bit of my gut bulge, which is great because I got some probiotic stuff going on in there. You know, your gut is your second brain, you guys. Okay, so with the hip straps in there, now I'll loosen these guys up a little bit and I can let that weight just sit on those hips because low center of gravity, don't forget, you're a fucking monkey, all right? So I can move around, I can climb, I can do these things. This is very comfortable. When I talked about the nomadic travel bag, I talked about how surprisingly comfortable it was with the hip straps because it had that rigid thing going on. Same thing going on here. There's actually some metal stays or some sort of like some thick, rigid thing, not thick, but rigid thing through the bag that helps it keep that verticality. It's a word that I just made up that I want you to just roll with. Helps it keep that verticality, which means that the weight gets pushed right down onto those hips. And this is crucial when you're doing your longer walks with this thing, when you're going through a long part of town or something like that in Vienna. Just kind of want to go see where Freud did his thing. Gotta walk around all over the place. You can do it with this bag. Okay, so 5'10" on me. This bag is nicely sized for a lot of different frames. They put a lot of work into where the straps go and stuff like that. But your body, your torso, your mileage may vary. I should also mention that on these hip straps, there's a little mesh sort of stretchy pocket over here. Not that stretchy. For sure some Skittles in here, all right? There's only one, so it's Skittles priority for this. You could do Skittles. If you're crazy, you could do like Milk Duds or something like that. But normally I use a second pocket for Milk Duds. There's not a pocket over here. They have some lash straps or places where you can lash their like camera clipper thing and like stuff like that. Your mileage, up to you. Your miles. This hip strap, by the way, is a G-hook, so you slide it right in, and I haven't noticed it being a problem at all, getting it in or out. Even a little bit blind. Let me see. Blind? Let's get it. Nah, it's hard to do blind. Did I get it? Kinda? Oh, it's because my shirt's in the way. Okay, let's do it. Blind, pull my shirt out of the way. Let's get it. Got it. Boom, boom. Okay, one of the things that you do with the travel bag a lot is you just like, you take it off and you put it on the ground and you like let it sit for a second. Now, you can get it to go upright. I normally always turn my bag so it's facing towards me and then just have it up against my leg. So I'm here and I'm doing the thing because I just wanted to get it off my back for a second. Easily reached up and grab it, carry it around, do this kind of thing. It's nice to ruck around with this bag just to kind of grip and throw and carry instead of just putting it on because it's tight. It holds itself together well. Okay, so I think that's everything on this back panel. That's the back panel, right? There is this little like ID card thing, which felt a little weird to me. Like I'm just gonna put an ID card in there. There's no like tether or something like that. It's just like it has this little like ID sign. I don't know, maybe they have some product you're supposed to put in there, guys. Peak Design, what's the deal? Okay, so I'm gonna put these straps away, and just so you know, you just do a little twist like this, so it's backwards in there, or it's just twisted backwards. Then you can slide it in. You can get all of your crap shoved away nicely, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay, looks pretty good. There's like definitely some tangle down here that I'm trying to figure out what the right way to do is. But knowing these people, I bet there's a way, and I just haven't learned it yet. So it looks like when it's folded up like that, you're gonna have like a little bit of wingding down here. Maybe you can actually, and you could get it in further if you were really being persnickety. Okay, so that's what it looks like all loaded up and killer. I wanna get those straps away just so I can move around the bag easily. By the way, they made a bit of a story about these hip straps, the way that they're tethered here, just like they pivot, right? So apparently that makes it nice and comfortable when you're walking. I've certainly noticed this bag not being uncomfortable. Okay, so that's the back side of the bag. All right, let's try a side now. So on both sides, you have these water bottle pockets, which are great. They can fit a ton of stuff. Even my no matter silicone water bottle, which is kind of silicone, so it's sort of sticky, can easily fit in there. And you see how tall it is? This is great for, you want to throw tripod in there. They have some lash straps so you can tuck stuff in like tightly if you needed to. The main point here is just that this is a nice water bottle pocket, and they have the same thing on both sides. So these kinds of pockets, you just throw stuff in, even travel documents and stuff, even though it's not very secure. Just throwing something in, just be able to throw snacks or whatever. You're in line, you're rucking around because you got your kids, and it's just like, okay, just throw something in someplace real quick. These are great pockets for that. And on both of the pockets, there's a little secret compartment here, zippered. So it's like, you know, maybe some storage for your, maybe this is where you put your milk duds or your passport, whichever way. I know both are important. And like I said, that is the case on both sides, all right? And that pocket is actually going into the water bottle, like into the actual fabric. So the water bottle pocket is actually double layer, and this goes between those two layers, okay? And then like I said, you got a handle on both sides, okay? But this bag is totally symmetrical. Then you have access to your main compartment with that peak style sort of, you know, diagonal pocket that kind of, you know, goes around like this. This is designed so you can have, they have camera cubes that are built for this bag, which are really nice camera cubes. And then this is designed for those camera cubes to be able to integrate with, so you can pull one flap down, it automatically pulls down the flap for your camera cube, and now you're in there, you grab your camera cube. It's also great for travel. We just want to grab an extra pair of underwear. Sometimes I'll just shove a pair of undies right in there, because like, you know, sometimes you're going through security or whatever, and you've got like heroin in your asshole, so it's like you shit yourself a little bit because you're nervous. Reach in there, grab another pair of underwear, just throw those on. This is a travel tip. Throw any underwear that you've really soiled badly, just throw it away, and you grab another pair right there. That's what I think, I mean, I'm a bag designer as well, so I think that's what they were thinking of when they built this pocket. Is that a little rough? That language felt a little rough to me, I apologize. But the point I'm getting at is you can get your fudgies, you can get your chonies, you can get your slippers, you can get your sandals, you can get your condoms, you can get your whatever. And just showing you that it's the same on this side as it is on the other. So this might impact how you pack your bag, so you can get things from the side, as well as I'll show you how the back panel is what zips open, and that's where you get all your capacity, okay? Okay, so front of this bag, quick access pocket, all right? We get down in there. This is a nice mesh material inside there. I love this material. It reminds me of the Evergoods sort of stretchy thing that's inside of their bag. I love this material. So putting my glasses in here without any protection, I feel safe with, though I typically don't roll like that. I have a little case for them, because that way I can use this for multiple things, not just the glasses. But nice quick access pocket that's like, you know, about the size of 3/4 of my hand. So it's not quite as deep as maybe some of you would like, but it's great because everything's right there at the top of the bag. Another weird thing on the front of the bag, you see this little flap down here? This is a place you can like store your lash straps. If you get those lash straps, you can kind of throw them up here. There's a magnet, hear that? How do they work? There's a magnet down there, so it kind of keeps things closed, but also they sell a rain slicker, a condom for this thing that perfectly fits this sucker, and you could be able to store it right up there. It doesn't take up any room in the bag. It's a very minimal sort of thing. That would be pretty killer for a lot of us. And a great way to just store it, and it's out of sight, out of mind. I never really accidentally flip this thing or get into this. Like, it's just not on a part of the bag that you're gonna use. Okay, let's just start going through things. Here is the front panel. Okay, you ready for this? Front panel comes down like so. I've just thrown in my headphones. I put my Bluetooth headphones in this kind of guy. Listen, I've got a video coming out like next video on a Bluetooth headphone deathmatch. I've got the most expensive, the 5 most expensive, highest rated headphones, and I put them through all my bells and whistles and hoops. So we could find out which one's actually best. Check that out, and a link in the description below at this time code, or subscribe, because it'll be here in like a couple days. So I literally just use this pocket for that in my like how I would travel with it. There's some mesh pockets right here that you could actually access from this side of the bag or the other side of the bag, which I'll show you. And the same thing down here with a deeper pocket that does not have the mesh. So flatter things. A lot of people would be like, you know, putting their chonies and their undies in here, socks and stuff like that. I always put all of that stuff in packing cubes. What's important is on this panel, this guy, this mesh thing, all right? This is my second quick access pocket, all right? I keep my zippers up here, pull it over, and now I'm in to that pocket. Okay, I just leave it unzipped. I've got my notebook in there. I've got any other travel stuff that I want like right there. I could easily put let me just show you here. I could put my headphones right in there so they stay up at the top of the bag, no problem. Okay, so this organization panel is solid. I know some people are gonna wanna put like their, you know, MacBook charger or laptop charger like up here around. This is some techie type of stuff that you could easily use for that, or use it for clothes and things. I a little bit wish there was some dimension built into these, but the way that the bag's set up, your dimension is all made for the main capacity. And I don't mind that at all, actually, right? Because I don't think about traveling and using these things. I think about traveling and using these things, right? But putting them into my main cavity, my main cavity. So when I need something, I just get into the main compartment, either through one of the side things or the top, or pulling the whole thing open, and I can grab it. What's great about this pocket though, is you can pull out some tech things that you might need on the way, smaller things that you might need in transit, and just place them around here whatever way feels great to you. Very extensible bag. Like, you can do a lot with this bag. And what I mean by that is you can customize your own way of traveling with this bag. All right, let's get in the main compartment here, okay? We've got these two massive number 10 zippers with a water seal on them. All right, these things feel really comfortable gripping and ripping and letting them go. They have a Hypalon zipper pull that is capable of kind of like buttoning around each other so no pickpockets can get into stuff without it being like this massive, like, lock everything up kind of thing. So nice little security feature there, though the zippers are lockable if you need to lock them. All right, you ready? You ready for this? Here's our capacity on the bag. Over here's our laptop compartment and tablet sleeve. Over here's the stuff. Let me walk you through this. Laptop compartment's great. It just fits as like all the things. It fits everything. I've got my 15-inch MacBook Pro in there. Works perfect for that. There's a little tablet sleeve. Oh boy. There's a tablet sleeve right here, which is for a smaller tablet. You know, regular size tablet that pulls it up off the bottom of the bag. The laptop is also pulled up off the bottom of the bag, so it's impossible for it to like get hit when you drop the bag. On the sides, you have this meshy sort of thing so that it can expand in case you need one of those old school gateway, fucking gateway, or like a modern day like Acer or HP laptop with like a dongle station and like a cup holder and things like that, so you can. So I know you Rodneys out there, you're into some crazy shit, man. I'm into it. Okay, so now we're over here in this compartment. Here's their medium packing cube, their small packing cube. They don't have a large one, so it's just, I'd go large and small. I've got my tech pouch, which I'll show you. And then this is my minimal little DOPP kit, okay? I use a small little guy because I just don't need very much, and I like it to be thin. All right, here's their DOPP kit, all right? Mine is just thinner. It's just thinner, it's smaller. I don't need very much, but I kind of, like, it's like so well designed and interesting that I'm a little bit like, but maybe we could use this instead. This thing is so killer. Like this right here, magnets for your toothbrush, right there. Outside zipper, designed just for like your shaving stuff. So you don't have to get any of those little like clippings and beard stuff in there, just for your little shaver things. You can keep it separately. And you can like wash both of those things out, pull them out to wash them in case they get gunky. So the thing is just like lovely, well built. They've got a little hook in it, so it stands up like this. It just has a small footprint. Like all the things are little, like not like, I want to use it, but the truth is I just don't need that space in my bag. By the way, just a great little symbol of how these guys design things. So the tech pouch and the DOPP kit look very similar, but if you look carefully, this one is all black. This one has these gray or white little bits on both sides. So you can tell when you're looking at both of them, which one's which. Nice. Okay, so let's pull my DOPP kit out of here and let's look at some of these packing cubes. Now, what's so amazing about these is they, like a lot of packing cubes do the expansion thing. These packing cubes, obviously, well, one of the best things about them is they're made specifically for this bag, right? So you've got boom and boom, and you're full with space for like the tech pouch, like perfect space for the tech pouch. So first of all, it's just killer for that. Second of all, the materials are so lightweight but durable. The zippers are great to use, even in compressing them. Like oftentimes the fabric could get like stuck in there, and it doesn't not happen here, but for the most part, it's easy to get compressed again. But to show you one of the things that's so cool about that compression is leave it open, pack it all the way out, it still fits perfectly in the bag. It's like right at the height. So you got one of these fully capacity, one of these fully capacity, and you've got a shit ton of things, you guys. Tons of things. So before I used to have everything in 2 packing cubes, I was able to fit that all into this one packing cube and then compress it, okay? So like This is basically what I would travel with, whether I'm traveling for 3 weeks or 3 months or 3 years. It's like, this is the amount of clothes that I ended up going with because it fits so much stuff. I've got my pants, I've got several shirts, I've got some stuff, some other stuff. Here, let me just walk you through it real quick. We'll unzip this compression, right? And then they've got this nice little, you see these little tabs? Just pull that open fast. It's kind of nice. One of the bummers with that is now you have 2 zips that you have to close. Instead of just going like, you know, grip and rip it all the way around, you have 2 zips that you have to close. But, you know, it's fine. Okay, so in here I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 t-shirts. Big pair of jeans, basically. 6, 7, 8 t-shirts. One pair of undies. I travel with 2 pairs of undies, ex officio, get into it, and 1 pair of wool socks, okay? That's like so much clothing. That is so much clothing for me. I wear shoes that don't require socks. I just have the socks in case I need like slippers or something like that, or for if it gets really cold. That is that. In here is a sweater and a jacket. That is that. And then I can just compress this all the way around, and not only does it fit perfectly width and width in the bag, but now I actually have another bit of space, so I can easily fit my DOPP kit on top of that, or a larger packing cube that goes even more. The capacity of this bag for minimalish travel. I know some of you look at that and you go like, what? No way I could travel with that. Dude, there was a lot there, and all of the shirts, all of the pants, all of the jackets and sweaters, they all go and mix or match with each other, okay? This is one of the most important things about minimal travel. Minimal travel for like when you're doing 3 months and you just need to do it in 1 bag. Like, it's totally possible. And having a minimal wardrobe, a capsule kind of wardrobe, it's just made my life feel so much more simple. And God damn if that doesn't change things in my life. Now let me show you this tech pouch for a little bit, because honestly, a lot of you are gonna be just drooling at this thing. All right, so it opens up like so. You've got everything in there. Nothing falls out of its little compartments. In my few days of use with this, nothing has fallen out of compartments at all because the organization comes all the way up. So what's great about this, way better than, I'm putting together a review of like a bunch of things like this, where you shove your cables all in there, trying to find like the best ones for us to use. You shove your cables in, you got a bunch of little things, it's organized well, okay, but actually as soon as I started using this, I was like, oh, it's better, because you just throw things in there, you don't have to be all precious with it, they're quickly in there, they're quickly out of there, they're quickly back in there. There's a couple zippered compartments, a couple large compartments, some small compartments up against the outside. There's also a zippered compartment on the outside, which has a little cord pass-through. Some of you who saw that video I did with Will on his Timbuktu messenger bag and how he completely customized it, this already has one of those button loops sewn in so that you can pass a cable, like, so say inside of here, say this right here is my battery. And in my battery, I've got a USB coming out. It goes through there. I can throw my phone in this outside pouch, and then I have a little cable run through there and plug it in while I'm chilling. And that gets really exciting when you add to this bag some of their little attachments for, you could basically make this an over-the-shoulder bag, right? So you've got your camera in there, you've got your keys, your phone, it becomes a perfect little tech sling, right? Yum. My one bummer and my one gripe about this is I don't like this brick size, right? I wish it could go, like, take this whole top half and just move it over here, right? So it was flatter, so I could fit it in my daily carry easier. This is like a lot of things to have in my daily carry, but at the same time, it's everything I need in my daily carry. So it consolidates, it's just in a brick sort of shape. I've got, like, this is basically what I'm doing is, like, I've got my power charger here, I've got my external hard drive, my Glyph Atom RAID, I've got all of my dongles for my headphones, I've got my spare pair of headphones, I've got my little pouch from Bihn, which has some Band-Aids and some dental floss and some stuff that you just, like, you never know when you need. You know, you get some of that ribeye just stuck in there and you're just like, crap. I've got it all in here and it just fits perfectly inside of here. I've got everything I need. It zips well. It's got a water-resistant finish in case I'm doing work outside in the rain or something. I don't know. I can carry it around as a tech sling if I really needed to, which is, it's not like it's going to be the hippest look. I wish, dude, peek. make hip straps for this thing. Because to me, if I can wear this as a fanny pack, if I can slide, if there's like a little slide here that I can get like a belt around or something like that, and I've got my fanny pack that I can just go like, hold on, let me get my camera out for my family moment. I would totally wear this as a fanny pack. Okay, so let's pull these guys out of here and let's look at the capacity here. All right, you see those panels? You see that? You know what that is? Same thing on the other side we were looking at. On the other side of that panel right there is the front of the bag where I have my headphones and stuff like that. These are those pockets, so you can access them from either side. But just look, it is massive, you guys. It's got tons of space and like every nook and cranny is usable. Love that. By the way, I should mention that if you wanted to, you could totally remove that panel. This organization panel actually zips down and then you're able to fold it or like curl it down to the bottom of the bag, right? So you can just, here, let me show you over here. So you can just have one big ass pocket. Okay, so check this out. I've just zipped that all the way down, and where's my guys here? Right here. And now when I open up the bag, I'm right into my main cavity, right? So if you wanna just throw this, everything just thrown right in there like a big old duffel bag, you can just do that. I think a lot of us don't mind having a little organization panel. It's really nice to have that flat thing I can throw a book in or something like that. Works well. Now, by the way, one of the things that's so nice about this bag is, for instance, the little zipper pulls that they have here, the big zipper pulls that they have here, the Hypalon ones, and then the front zipper pulls that they have on the side as well as the front. Where's my front guy? This guy right here. They're all a little bit different, so you get used to what's what. They all feel great. And you can see right here, there's this little zipper pull. I'll show you this. This is for the compression and expansion thing. It just means that like once you learn a little bit of the language of the bag, you've got it. Like it preaches. You're in transit, you know what's what, you get a process for where you put your zippers. I put these front ones all the way on the right, or maybe I have them up top so that I can do this, that, and the other, and then my back ones are separate. All I'm getting at here is they used different zipper pulls for different features, and that feels really nice in use. Again, another one of those bits where you're like, fuck, dude, they thought about a lot of shit. They might have thought about damn near everything. Okay, a couple interesting features. Right now the bag is basically empty. You see these two buttons right here? These buttons are on the same side over here. What this allows you to do is, let's see if I can do it because it can be a little challenging to do live demos. Live demos, there's two buttons basically that clip into each other. There we go. And one over here, let me see if I can get it. Hold on, wait for it. Got it. Okay, so you get used to doing that. It's a little maneuver. Now, what you've got is effectively a 35-liter travel, like our day bag. Okay, so I pull my straps out, and here's what their day bag looks like. Now they're going like, this is what you can use as a day bag when you get to, you go one bag travel to Paris, right? You need a little bag to ruck around with, to like, let's go see the sights. Okay, so this is like a little bit bigger than their 30-liter Peak Designs everyday backpack, all right? Now, not my favorite size, right? It definitely feels big. It also feels rigid and it's like, it's rigid. It's like, it's not my favorite daily carry thing. What's great about it is you can just use it and just suck it up, and like you've got all this great organization. You can fit all your things, your jacket, your laptop, your tech pouch, your headphones, your whatever. You can fit the baguette and the cheese and the bottle of wine in there, so you could fit a lot of stuff in. You've also got those hip straps that can pull out if you need them, but most of the time you won't need them because it's a lighter load than your travel bag. However, not my favorite like for daily carry. I think what this is a great travel bag, and it's nice that it has this feature where it sucks in this little bit. But for me, I feel like a weirdo walking around with this big of a bag. I want to feel a little more local when I get there. I want to feel a little more like, I want to feel lighter when I get there. Luckily, there's an easy solution for that, all right? Here's one of my favorites, the YNOT Deploy tiny little Cordura packable bag. I love this guy. I've used this as a daily carry, just like literally for all my work stuff. I used this when I lived in Nashville for a month. So like I didn't have any complaints. Everything was tight, but everything fit. And you could even step it up a little bit and go into the Tortuga. This is their, I believe their Setout packable Daypack, which has two water bottle pockets, a pocket on the front. It's like roughly water resistant. and it packs away into just nothing. So you throw these things into your bag, just like cram it in there somewhere. I normally typically just lay them flat on the top of it. And oftentimes I'll have like my laptop or my tech stuff just kind of like all in there so that when I get to my airplane seat, I just pull out this backpack. It fits under the seat in front of me, and then this guy can go up. I have everything I need with me. Okay, so that's like a little pro one bag travel thing for you. You don't need to have a bag that does both, because there's so many great bags that you can carry along with you. And this does the travel thing so well. However, a lot of you looking at this going like, dude, that's a fine daily carry. And it is. You will love this as a daily carry if you're not totally offended by the looks and the idea that it's a little heavier and rigid on your back. But you have all the capabilities of carrying anything that you need to. Now, one final trick here, okay? It is these expansion guys that are down here, and my zipper pull fell off of one of them. But you have these tiny zippers that zip down to the bottom of the bag so they're never in your way. Because you're not gonna need this feature very often. But when you do, what you're able to do is add another 10 liters to the front of the bag. So let's just throw a bunch of stuff in here, other bags in here to fill it up. Fit my Boundary Supply Prima. Let's see if we can fit our Milliken Smith roll top, and then let's throw one of our packing cubes on there and see what we can do. And so there you go. You see that expansion right there? You see that working for us? We could fill this thing up even more in that direction, okay? Now, what I did there is I removed that organization panel so I could just have one huge thing. But where this actually adds space is in that organization panel. Okay, so there's the bags that I was packing. Okay, so my organization panel would be here, and all of that space would actually be inside of that front compartment. But I removed that, I unzip it, I fold it down, and now it's all part of my main compartment, so I could just throw stuff in there. Really, really useful feature, whether you're using it as your, like to expand a space for like packing cubes on that organizational panel, or just removing that organizational panel and just putting tons more stuff into your main compartment. Okay, so then with this sucker all packed out like that, which is actually kind of heavy because those bags I put in there were heavy. Here's what it looks like, okay? So definitely adds some serious dimension to the bag. I mean, look at that. That's huge. And it's comfortable, and it's well built, and it's durable, and it's got like a lot of other features, like stowable hip straps. And we can also completely compress this, remove that thing, and click it in as a daily carry. And it doesn't look bad at all. And you've got external lash straps, and it's got packing cubes that are like probably the best made I've ever seen that fit perfectly for the size of the bag. And the water resistant zips are all over this bag. And there's some quick access and easy ability to get into some pockets inside the bag while you're in transit. And there's some nice fucking water bottle pockets. And there's handles all over the bag. And your fingers actually like the feeling of this material, and you don't mind just tossing it around places because sometimes that's necessary on the road. This thing is a fucking existential crisis for me. Because why look at other bags, right? Why? It does it all. Now, I am a bag whore and an enthusiast, and also I do this for a living now, so I get to see all the innovation that comes out, and I get to be interested in something that's made out of more of a wax canvas vibe or something that's built a little bit differently. But as far as one bag travel goes, like the big question for me is this just like the one everyone should just go with? Just bite the bullet, spend the money because it's like gonna come in around $300, and then you got to add your packing cubes and your tech pouch because you got to get that fucking tech pouch, right? Is this the bag that everybody should just go out and buy? Which makes me wonder, okay, so why wouldn't you want, what are the real reasons why not to get this bag? I think it's just the look and the rigidity and weight of the thing. Those are the three things it has going against it. Looks, it's like totally subjective. You're into what you're into. I'm into what I'm into. Rigidity, it's definitely got some rigidness that to me isn't a reason why not to get this bag as much as the weight may be, right? Because all of the backpack, the straps, the ability to you know, stow away all of this stuff, the handles, the material, all of the stuff adds up to, and there's some heft to it. But you can also pack it out with so much stuff, it's going to be heavy no matter what. So saving that, you know, pound or two that you would by going with something like the Heimplanet Monolith or the Setout. Is that really gonna be noticeable on your backpack? Suffice it to say, for those of you who are like, I wanna be done thinking about a bag, I just want the best made bag, I want it to do everything I need it to do, and you're looking at this and you're like, whoa, that does everything I need it to do, I'm like, high marks. If you're interested in this bag, definitely gets the seal of approval from me. But let me show you a few other bags that I really love for traveling as well. Okay, this is the Heimplanet Monolith 40 liter, all right? I love this thing because it's just one big sack, and I don't mind traveling like that. Just a huge pouch that you can fit everything in. Same capacity as this. This probably gets a little bit bigger with the expansion. I think it does. I think you can fit more, but in a different way. Like this is a little bit wider almost feeling. This is their new version. I did a big video on this. Check out in the link in the description below at this time code. Recommend this bag. The Tortuga Setout, which is definitely killer, much lighter bag. Like this thing is a featherweight in comparison to this, but you've got tons of capacity. Great, chassis for carrying things. Is chassis the right word there? Really, really nice to carry this even when it's all loaded out, though it's flumpy, frumpy, and kind of moofy. In comparison to this, which holds everything tight and slick like a rocket pack. But check out the link in the description below to the Setout, the Tortuga Setout. Very different bag, but the Bihn Aeronaut, this is a 45 liter. You can fit this much stuff into here. Really well built like a tank. No tech organization, not a pocket kind of thing. You can have 3 sort of divider spaces if you need it, or one large ass thing. Just a great way to get all your shit to Europe. Backpack straps are okay. Hip pack, like this is a more comfortable bag, but check out my video on the Aeronaut in the link in the description below. And then the GoRuck GR2, okay? This one is this thing has such a point of view. This also has such a point of view. And some of you are gonna be really attracted to this, and you know you already are, or you've never heard of it and you just need to go research this bag right now. This is the GR2. It comes in a 34 liter and a 40 liter, so you're talking about smaller capacity, but built for lasting for forever. It feels more like a bag, you know what I mean, than this does. This feels like luggage, and this feels like a bag. Very comfortable straps, some of my favorite straps in the biz. Definitely a bag that if you commit to, it will be there for you for a very long time. I feel like this will be too. I like it, and I know it will be. I mean, I've just been going like, knowing that it can be there for me for the rest of my life, I'm a little bit like, well, so why would I use anything else? But check out the GR2, link in the description below, because the truth is this does a lot more than basically all of those, right? You've got expansion, you've got stowable hip straps, you've got massive water bottle pockets on both sides, which can be used for other things, the ability to add lash straps, like I said, the expansion, the contraction into a daily carry bag. You've just got like so much on this extremely well-designed bag from Peak Design. So that is their travel bag. I hope you liked this video. Listen, if you did like this and it's useful and you're gonna back them on Kickstarter or buy the bag, please use my link in the description if you're capable of doing so, because it's like buying me a beer, right? At no cost to you, it's like buying me a beer. I have said nothing but the truth on this video and all the others. I'm not paid to do any of these things. I'm just a total bag whore. I literally got up early this morning to make this video because I was like, the Peak Designs video is today! And I know a lot of you are asking questions about this bag and curious about it, and I was asking questions about it, so I've been funking around with it for a little while, and dude, it's really, really good. It is really good. A lot of you are gonna love this bag. Listen, what I'm all about here on this channel is helping you find things that you actually really love, that you can spend, maybe it ends up spending a little more money, but it lasts you for so much longer than anything else would because you're really satisfied with it, that you end up saving so much money over time. It's more sustainable, it's more considered, it's more of a thoughtful way of living, it's a more simple way of living, and I think that's what we need to get back into in our consumeristic, sort of materialistic world. We just lost the plot for a little while there. I mean, the 80s, plastic, electronics, like everything was so cheap. It's like, of course, we kind of went off the deep end there. But now we're getting into more indie manufacturers, considered goods, thoughtful artisans who are making stuff and really considering every nook and cranny of the bag and the feature and the headphones and the this, that, and the other. So come with me on the journey. I'm finding products that are worth considering, that can make your life a little more simple and a little more enjoyable to live, because it's your life. Love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Bagworks.co
chasereeves.net. Those are the websites.
I guess those are the websites.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess
wanting us to, I guess, go check out what he's up to or something like that.
Yeah, looks nice.